Thanksgiving. Coming to you with a quick weekly update this week. We're not going to take too much of your time, but just run through a few things that we think are important to bring you to speed on. And the number one thing is the Black Friday sale after Thanksgiving. The focus is tanks, the focus is tank setups, and trying to bring you the best price that we possibly can on a bunch of really big outfitted tanks. The one that's in front of me is the 120, and it is probably the best sale we've offered on a 120 in years. Under $2,000, and it's a complete starter saltwater kit. It has everything you need to get in the ball game of saltwater if you've ever wanted to, in a very small footprint, 4x2. And it is the one thing that I wanted to show you on the weekly update. Lots of other tanks right through here. We've got different specials, 125s, 150s, 180s. It is the season of big tanks since we've finally gotten them back in stock. So as you're sitting on the couch watching football and eating turkey, you might want to consider coming down this coming weekend and seeing all the cool things we have in a Christmas package at Fishy Business. So somewhere in the last week, Guy decided to either drain a swamp, raid a swamp, I don't know what he did, but he tried to find every piece of driftwood he possibly could. And poor Jonathan and Chase had the fun of pricing all this stuff yesterday. If you want some cool designs, if you haven't been in a little while, and you're doing a planted tank or just trying to design a really cool freshwater tank, I have a lot of options for you. You want to come check this out. Okay, so if you want a wrappable Christmas present and you want a wrappable fish tank, what you see behind me is a great way to do that. This is a boxed saltwater aquarium. It's very small, at only 32 gallons. It's all self-contained and our number one selling item here. If you've ever wanted to experiment with saltwater, or someone that you love does, this is a great thing that can be wrapped like a microwave oven and put under the tree. Only it's a saltwater aquarium. There are some smaller freshwater tanks too that are complete packages that we have. There's more than this, but this is one thing that I wanted you to see really quick.
Hello, it's Kevin. I've got some nice freshwater fish in this week. I hope you all have a great Thanksgiving, but after Thanksgiving you need to come buy some fish from us because we got some really cool stuff. We've got some beautiful striped pike cichlids. These guys are pretty darn aggressive. They're also like a belly crawling cichlid actually. Unusual swimming habits for a cichlid and unusual shape for a cichlid, and really pretty fish, but will eat anything that fits in their mouth. These little guys are the TROPHEUS BEMBAS. They are a Lake Tanganyikan cichlid. They get at tops usually about 4 inches, but they are pretty territorial, as is any other African cichlid though. Really nice color in the center, nice yellow highlight, and their face comes more black with age. We've got some really nice looking little SYNODONTIS catfish. These are the Valenciana. Really cool little SYNODONTIS catfish, a good little scavenger to have in there with African cichlids because there's not a whole lot that would actually be compatible. These little guys won't necessarily eat algae for you, but they will help keep eating food down to a minimum. We've got some really nice looking LYRETAIL mollies in. These have always been one of my all-time favorite fish for a freshwater tank. The Dalmatian in particular are one of my personal favorites. The Dalmatian LYRETAIL mollies, as the name would infer, really nice white and black spots. These guys are really cute. These are the dojo loaches, also known as a weather loach. Really cool little freshwater scavenger fish to have. Does get fairly large though, so make sure you've got an appropriate tank size. This is my favorite gourami. These are the pearl gouramis. The male back there has a lot of color. The females, although they're not quite as colorful as the males, still have a very striking mosaic pattern through the body. Really peaceful gourami compared to most others. Although it does get fairly large, they can get up to 5 inches. There is no fish that appreciates food more than this type of catfish. This is a PICTUS catfish. Very funny to watch them eat anything because once they smell it, they act like sharks swarming around. They're also very active. They also will eat anything that will fit in their mouth, so don't put them in with small fish, please. This is another cool South American cichlid that's not very aggressive. This is the GEOPHAGUS steinduckenari, really also known as a red hump GEOPHAGUS. Really attractive fish, cool addition to a semi-aggressive tank. This is a cool little oddball. This is a peacock bass. It is a baby peacock bass. He will get very big, possibly larger than most fish tanks, and eat everything including aardvarks and small children. Nice looking electric blue crayfish came in. These guys are an interesting addition to most tanks. There are many different ways of strategically placing them inside your tank where they can be displayed without being able to grab your fish. But if you're daring, put them in with very fast swimming tank mates and keep your fingers crossed. We did get in some phenomenal betas this week. We got in some of the best looking koi betas I've ever seen. These are koi half moons, which I personally like because of the more long finnage that they have. Really striking fish. This one in particular I think just takes the cake. He's mostly white, he's got purple, he's got red. Awesome fish.
Okay, so if Reagan was here, she would be doing what I'm about to do, which is run through a few saltwater fish. Now, because of the holidays, we are actually getting another shipment later today, but the only way to get this video out is to give you what came in yesterday. So we're gonna do part 1, and you can kind of check out Facebook for part 2, or you can come in Friday and see what we got. Okay, so we're making an effort here to get out some of the new fish that came in. It seems like every time you go to film, they all run and hide. What you're looking at right here, let's see, where is Cat in this? Okay, so here is your convict tang. This is not a tang for beginners. They typically come in as you see this one, which is fairly thin, but it is a very unique tang that if once given enough food and a little weight on it, it is a showstopper in an aquarium. I've had a few of these in service and they are beautiful fish. You can see the Koran coming in now. Now this is not a reef safe fish, but it is a beautiful, one of the hardiest of the larger angels that you can put in an aquarium. If you have a fish only tank or an invert tank, a tank essentially that does not have corals, the Koran angel is one of my top picks as one of the hardiest angels. And swimming around and eating and not worried about anything is the social fairy wrasse. This is a fantastic little fish in any peaceful tank or any reef tank, and it is much better than having an antisocial fairy wrasse. The most beautiful fish in the Indian Ocean and especially in Australia is the HARLEQUIN tusk. This is a heavier bodied wrasse with blue teeth. It looks like every Clemson fan's dream fish, and that's who usually buys it. It is very, very hardy, and it is adaptable in a lot of different situations with the one exception of small invertebrates. It is fairly social. I have this in multiple service accounts. It is definitely a fish for longevity, and if you want something hardy, you have a fish-only system, this is a great fish for that. Ooh, as he swishes out at the very end to make a statement. Yeah. One of the most beautiful angelfish in the ocean is the imperator or emperor angel. This is a very hardy angel as well, not reef safe. And then now he's going to go right in the corner since he just came in and stop because he doesn't like being filmed. However, if you turn your TV vertically, you can actually see him. Cat, you don't have to. But this is a great fish. This guy came in great. He is eating flake food on the first day, which is pretty amazing. I don't really recommend feeding flake food to him. You need angel formula and stuff that is high in sponge. But this is a great fish. Usually when clown gobies come in, they are super tiny, like penny and dime small. This is a beast. Clown gobies are great. They kind of hop from place to place, much like hawkfish. They're a very easy fish to keep in a reef tank. They make a great statement without taking up a lot of room. They're very, very peaceful in most cases. And I have got a monster citron clown goby right now. You can never go wrong with a sailfin tang. One of my top 5 hardiest fish in all of saltwater. It goes great in a fish-only system and holds its own. It goes great in a reef tank and holds its own. It goes great in an invert system. Anywhere you put this fish, you have a very, very high chance of great livability and a long life. This probably represents one of the most common fish I have in service, and I have plenty out there that are much older than 10 years. So this is a great, great fish. I can't emphasize it enough. Price point, longevity, beauty, the sailfin tang. Looking almost like a blue throat trigger, the red tail trigger is a beautiful, beautiful trigger fish. This is a little bit more peaceful of the types of trigger fish that you can have. And also shape-wise, it's a lot different than the more diamond shape that you have with the more aggressive triggers. If you want a statement maker for a fish-only tank or a reef tank that has a little bit larger invertebrates, the red tail trigger could be fantastic. We don't get this fish very often, and it is a beauty this week. The Hippotus tang, or the blue tang, is probably one of the most desirable fish in all of saltwater. Nowhere can you get the intensity of the blue that you see on this fish in this way. It's very hardy. It's not what I would call a beginner tang, but once you've had your tank set up and going for a few months, it can be a wonderful tang. Apparently the coral beauty that's in there wants the spot, and coral beauties never want the spot, so we'll show it too. Coral beauty is one of the hardiest angelfish, Centropyge bispinosus. It's one of the hardiest fish you can also buy in saltwater. Reef safe 99.9% of the time. Very long-lived fish as well. And the blue tang is back, and so yeah, that's it for that. Okay, so again, I hope everyone has a wonderful Thanksgiving. You definitely want to come see us this weekend, and if you do, it's not too early to start bringing canned goods. Our giveaway for December, which I'm going to let you know next month, next video, what that item is, started by Mr. Sir Richard Bullard. Bring in your canned goods. We're going to try to fill up the pond. Now, this is going to be a massive task, but it's going to be the preeminent thing that we do before we really fill up the pond, whether it be salt or fresh. And right now, salt water is kind of winning. So would you have anything you want to say about all of this?
That's 1,500 gallons worth of food.
Yeah, but we have like the best customers and people that stop by in the world.
We filled the 210-gallon tank. Don't you think 7 times is excessive?
Yeah, but pretty much everything we do here is excessive. I mean, am I lying?
No.
I mean, a lot of it's stupid too, but
Okay.
I mean, we should try, right?
Oh, I have no qualms. I will help.
All right. So maybe if we do fill it, we'll give away something really big. Stay tuned for what the giveaway is. In the meantime, each time you come in, please bring some canned goods. We're going to donate it to the Ronald McDonald House here in Columbia at the end of December. So God bless. Have a happy Turkey Day.
Yeah.